Commitment in the face of conflict produces character. Ain't that so right? Because like we could think that we're working on things, or we could have it in our mind, we could have a mindset on it. But until we... Motivational quote by Anonymous: commitment in the face of conflict produces character. Commitment in the face of conflict produces character. Put in a situation until we are fully tested in a situation or a conflict or something, right? And that's when our true character comes out. That's when our true character is built. That's when we finally find who we are. That's when we finally find these talents that we probably weren't really ever paying attention to before, or these gifts that were hidden inside of us, or these gifts that are unlocked, these talents that have been unlocked, right? That is the powerful part. That's the powerful part. See, it's, commitment in the face of conflict produces character. And so many times, right? So many times we could definitely, we could definitely believe that, right? So many times we could achieve that. But sometimes we ain't put in those situations, right? Our commitment isn't face to face with conflict, isn't in the face of conflict, right? Where sometimes our character isn't really built. What do we do then? I think that's when we start to challenge ourselves, put ourselves not in some like weird, crazy situations, but put ourselves into some other situations, some other obstacles, give ourselves some other opportunities where we're going to be challenged, where our character will be built. When you are offered a seat on a rocket ship, just don't ask what seat, just get on, right? I see this so many times. Opportunities be given, right? Character. Sheryl Sandberg: if you offered a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seat, just get on. If you're offered a seat on a rocket ship, just don't ask what seat, just get on. Be given, opportunities be given, doors be open, different things, right? Presented to certain people, and they're like, oh, okay, but what about this? Can I do this? Can I get this? It's like, bro, you got an opportunity, right? You got an opportunity. They just gave you the opportunity to be able to get on that rocket ship, to be able to do this thing, to be able to do that. And you have the nerve to go and ask, what seat? Where? Right? Be grateful that you got the opportunity. Don't be picky and choosy. Don't be questioning things. Don't just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the opportunity. Take it and run with it, right? Don't be like, oh, man, what about this? No, enjoy the opportunity, right? Because these opportunities don't come so very often, right? And that's when people are ungrateful. That's when people take for granted these opportunities that they are given, right? And we think it's okay. We think, oh, it's all right, bro. It's whatever. It's not whatever, right? Because these opportunities are important. These opportunities are big. And you don't want to be that one person that's been given opportunities, but you ain't grateful. Because you may not get those opportunities again. Those opportunities may be taken away. Or you may make it. Maybe you will get big. But then people ain't going to want to work with you because they're going to be like, this dude, he ain't even grateful for how he got here. How he going to be grateful for any opportunities now? Some food for thought. Find something you're passionate about. And you know what? Continue to keep being interested in it, right? Find something that you are tremendously passionate about and stay interested in it, right? Because there's so many times. Julia Child: find something you're passionate about and keep tremendously interested in it. Find something you're passionate about and keep tremendously interested in it. Well, we have been so passionate about certain things, but then we give up, right? We give up. We don't stay interested in it. Our interest goes to something else, right? But if you are truly passionate about something, you got to keep that interest going. You got to keep that interest moving on. You got to keep that interest there, because that's the only way that you're going to take that passion and let it grow into something amazing, right? That passion, and let it live on forever, right? Because if you don't keep that interest in it, you're wasting your passion. You're wasting the energy that you put into your passion, right? If you ain't going to keep no interest in it. Believe me, I've done it. I flip-flop back and forth and stuff. But know what? That's why right now, a lot of the things, they're kind of like just the extra. Right now, the motivation, right? The inspiration, that's me, right? That's what I am about. That's what I do. That's my passion, to speak, to be able to be an impact to those around me. But sometimes, know what? I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet, but I will get there. I promise you, I'm speaking into existence. I'm going to be where I imagine myself, where I picture myself, where I envision myself to be, right? See, a lot of times we lose interest in our passion, and then we wonder what happened, right? We wonder why we have no love for the game no more. Why we feel like we lack something. We feel like our life has no meaning, right? But if we keep that interest in our passion, we could continue to fight another day. We continue to live our dream another day. We continue to make an impact another day. We continue to be proud of ourselves another day. Always seek out the seed of triumph in every adversity, right? What does that mean? What does that mean? What it means is this, right? You got to find that little glimmer, that little ounce of hope in every time. Always seek out the seed of triumph in every adversity. By Og Mandino. Always seek out the seed of triumph in every adversity. Every time that you are facing adversity, every time you are in a situation, every time that you have your back against the wall, every time that you feel that you've been knocked down so many times you don't know if you could get up. See, that's when you find that little bit of hope, that little ounce of hope, and you hang on to it. You hold on to it with white knuckle intensity, right? Because you know what? There's going to be triumph at the end of this, right? There's going to be victory at the end of this. You will stand tall with your chin and your head held high, right? I promise you. But if you do not hold on to any ounce of hope, any little bit of hope, then you are doomed for defeat. You are doomed to continue to fail in this situation. You are doomed to lose, right? Because no way, you have no hope, right? Hope is what keeps us alive. Hope is the important thing in our life, right? Jesus came down, died for us for hope, that we could live eternity with him in heaven, right? That's the hope. Without him, there was no hope. But with him, there is hope, right? And if you could hold on to that little bit of hope that's just kind of that's kind of keeping you there, that's kind of being able to get you to kind of move up a little bit, get up on your knees just a little bit, try to get up to your feet. That little bit of hope is going to get you to the victory. That little bit of hope is going to give you that triumph. That little bit of hope is going to show that you are something, that everything that God put into you is something, right? It's going to show you that when you have your faith in God, when you got the hope, you are going to make an impact for those that have watched and looked at your story, heard your story. It's going to give them hope. And that hope's just going to spread like a wildfire. But you need to hold on to that little bit of hope to get to that triumph. If you do not understand yourself, you do not understand anybody else, right? If you do not understand yourself, you do not understand anybody else, right? See, Nikki Giovanni, if you don't understand yourself, you don't understand anybody else. If you don't understand yourself, you don't understand anybody else. this is when you got to start doing some self-reflection, right? When you got to start to self-reflect on yourself. You got to understand who you are, what you want, all these different things. That's when you got to kind of meditate. That's when you kind of got to get some time alone and be like, no, what about me? Who about me? What about me defines who I am, right? I need a definition of myself, right? That's when we need to dig down deep. That's when we need to get into meditation. That's when we need to start some self-reflection. That's when we need to get into our tight circle, right? Our tight niche, right? And just be able to be like, okay, let's go ahead. Let's talk to each other. What do we see in ourselves, and what do you see in each other, right? You need to understand who yourself is before you can understand anybody else. Because the thing is, if you do not understand yourself, you will not understand those around you. You will not understand your friends. You will not understand your spouse. You will not understand your family. You will not understand the strangers, the co-workers, whoever it is, if you do not understand who you are, right? Because if you're confused on who you are, you're gonna be confused on every single person that you've ever come in contact with, right? See, that's the important part. That's the important part. Think about it like this. Think about it like this. You need to understand yourself. You need to make that effort to understand yourself. You need to dig down deep. You need to start doing the different practices. You got to start some self-love, some self-reflection, all these different things to understand who you are, understand your purpose, understand your gifts, understand what brought you here. And when you finally do that, I promise you, you will understand those around you. You will start to understand those around you. So this is a great way to end this podcast, to end this episode, is to be like, who am I? How am I going to be what I need to be, right? This is the thing. This is the thing. We're here to grow. We're here to understand ourselves, to believe in ourselves, to be ourselves. So we got to. This is what we're here to do. This is what we're bred to do. So I'm going to end it with this. Understand who you are so you could understand those around you. Understand yourself so you can understand the world. And without further ado, I'm going to have to bid y'all adieu. If you ain't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe too. And until next time, salute.